So the question, so the program outlined today, the thing that this program is basically a 2-day session. Each day we are going to sit down for a session from 11 to 2 p.m. Today we're going to cover three key aspects of digital marketing. First, we're going to give you a introduction of digital marketing and digital media, which is, I would say, not that important, but I'll still give that time to this section because it lays the foundation for the course. Um, then comes optimization techniques for Google, Facebook, and different kinds of campaign. Can different companies have different optimization techniques? Can you know you have how do you build an environment around you of learning, because it keeps on changing so much that we often lose out. In probably 6 months time we see that, oh, I think this has changed and the dashboard changed, so many other things change. So the way we do things, it keeps on changing. I've been working in this year for around 3.5 years only on digital marketing, or basically digital media buying and planning, and I've seen the Facebook and Google dashboard change almost 3 times. So I think people who are older, they have seen it change much more than I did. And then we come into the section that is managing your digital assets, and that is basically what are the assets that are available to us, and what are we ignoring often, and how important they are, how can they help build an environment of data management through which we can actually market our products better to the consumers. Then comes the session two. Session two consists of managing the digital media data. Basically, in the session one, part three, we are going to give a prelude to session two, and the session two describes or talks about much more about digital media data. How do you collect them? What are the processes that we follow to collect them, and how do we want to collect them, and how do we actually optimize in data collection. Then comes crafting digital media strategy. This is something that talks about traditional models versus digital models, and how we merge them, how we actually talk about how do we build a strategy from scratch, and what are the traditional ways of doing things, and how do we modify those for digital marketing. This will help people to understand, give them a horizon that what we are trying to do and what we want to achieve, and how do we do that. Then comes the question answer session. This is the question answer session that is designated at the end of day two, where you ask the question, anything and everything regarding digital marketing, digital media, and I'll try to answer all of them, but I might not be able to answer all of them because I might not have that knowledge. But mostly, I would try to answer all of them. Then we move along into the introduction session, which is introduction to digital marketing. So first thing first, if we look at the audience that is reachable by digital ads, um, that is we often say that internet in Bangladesh is basically Facebook. A lot of people signed in into the internet to use Facebook in Bangladesh. There were times when Facebook paid people, in rural areas, rural Bangladesh, to open accounts and to make them use Facebook, and it has paid off. We see that about 14 million people, 14 million people, which is all 3.9 million, basically almost 40 million people plus people use internet, and of them 40 million use Facebook, and more than half of them is youth. Youth means over here they are 24 or below. Their age is equal to 24 or below, which means that in tomorrow's world, or in the upcoming years, these are the key customers for most businesses. So a lot of businesses that operate in Bangladesh today, they often feel the need to actually engage with this audience, even though their product is definitely not their product. I've seen steel industry, the people who make rods, steel rods for buildings. These aren't youth products, but they still try to engage with the youth. And the reason is they are forward thinking. They want to engage with this youth audience to be relevant to them in the future. A student who is 18 today or 19 today, in 6 7 years time they're going to be executives, and they're going to be the primary customers that are going to buy most of the modern products in the market. As a result, the youth drives the digital marketing or digital media in Bangladesh. Then number two is, when it comes to, there is always a debate whether um, creative is more important or digital media buying is important. Me being a digital media buyer, when I say this, I would say take it as a Bible. A digital media buyer can take your ad from, reaching 200 people to 500 people max. But whether that ad is going to create an impression into those 200 or 500 people, that is a creative. So often, or more than often, the creative has 50% more influence. Or the correct way to say it is, say, um, the total influence, the combined total influence is 100%. Media buying has a portion, creative has a portion. So creative has 50% plus into that 100% influence on the audience, and less than 50% or 50% or less than 50% is media buying. So as a result, creative has often more influence on those uh, buyers of yours. But regardless of the importance of creative, you still have to spend some money or some sort of money, whether directly or indirectly, to reach out to those people. And it can be on digital media, it can be on traditional media.